Okay, it is December 31st, 2018. Counting down, getting close to the new year here.
Yeah.
I'm Paul Power, as always, introducing Mr. Robert Nelson and his Book of Keys, Love Letters from God. And we're going to be doing number 15.
This one is called Power. Now I tell you to relieve yourself of the burden of power, for it is a heavy weight, unworthy to be borne. Power is the delusion which promotes aging. Wow. People are wondering today how to promote slowing down aging or even reverse it. Only that which is false can feel the need for security brought by what seems to be power. There is a counterpart to power. Its name is peace. Power is the denial of sanity. Delusion is difficult enough in and of itself, but sustaining it is truly insanity. Power is a false kingdom fueled by worship of fear. Wow. In power there is servitude, in peace there is freedom. Power always supports itself upon the conditionality that leads to control of your brother and sister. In so doing, you are unable to accept him or her in the vision that I offer. That vision being their perfection as yours. From the heart of fear comes the need for weapons and shields of power. It is impossible to defeat delusions of power directly. You must first lay aside the very delusion which feeds the need for power. It makes sense. For those who sustain the separation, power is a substitute for healing. Wow. No wonder we get ill and keep getting more ill as time goes on. Its use breeds the need for more of the same, like we call a vicious circle or a vicious cycle. It would seem then that the compounded delusion of power is inescapable, and it is so long as the false god of fear is being worshipped. One thing I found here is that God doesn't try to sugarcoat anything. He puts it the way it is. The way to lay aside this need for such insanity is to heed the call of my spirit. To promote the use of power is to impoverish your brother and sister. Woo. In which case you will treat him or her as far less than they really are. Impoverish your brother and sister and you lay waste to yourself. See, again, vicious cycle. And you will then use more power to counteract the problem. Only it will feed the problem instead of controlling it. At the point at which you can take no more of this insanity, the serenity of a second, you will hear my voice offering you the vision of our shared identity. So in that moment, in that serenity of a second, you hear God's call of sanity. The choice then is yours, power or peace. Nothing like being blunt about it. That which you choose for yourself is that which you will offer your brother and sister and me. Now think about that. We think about in our daily lives what we do to ourselves and each other. God is saying what we do to each other, we do to Him too. Think about it. I, for one, offer no games of power. I honor that whom I know you to be, me. This is the vision I offer you in order that you may dispel the delusion of power in all of its forms. Power and virtue have no place with each other. There is simply no contest. For one is real, the other is an opportunity for healing. In other words, If you're thinking in a sick way, you have an opportunity to need healing. My voice reminds you that love is all. My vision of you fulfills you. My spirit calls to you to healing of your brother and sister as yourself. The question of power is a hollow one at best. How can you court that which simply does not exist? Now this next statement is in bold-faced and capitalized letters. The pivot point upon which the universe thrives and upon which the kingdom is extended is the point of agreement. That is true power. It is at that point which you hear my spirit and the need for power is laid aside. You may choose to replace power with agreement. For at that point is the relationship which makes you and your brother and sister and me one and the same being. I am that relationship. Actually, God is the relationship shared. If you look upon me as a being, as in a king sitting upon a throne of some distant kingdom, you are totally wrong. There are a lot of people in Christianity who are not going to be happy about that. I am the relationship of the vision of wholeness. So my throne is the kingdom of your heart. How much closer can you be to me than that? Pretty hard to get closer to God than our heart. Power is beyond my ability to give you, and if I cannot give it, it simply does not exist in order to be given. Peace then is my gift to you from your brothers and sisters' hearts and from your heart to me. In the sharing of relationship of peace is the end of power and the fulfillment of our kingdom in earth as it is in heaven. Let love retire the need for power. God. It's interesting when I'm reading these, even though they came through me originally, and I've read them many times since, I get into an altered state, which feels very linked, almost directly, to when they were being written and spoken through me. I guess that's about it for power. Power, who needs it?